Hi, this is Alex from phpacademy.org, back with another video for the new Boston. In this video we're going to be looking at the select distinct statement inside SQL. So we've already looked at selecting data from a database. For example, the table that I have set up here. It's a basic table. We've got a column ID, which is just an auto increment and an integer, and it's our primary key. Now the data we're going to focus on is this first name and this surname field. We've got two columns here. We've got first name, we've got a variety of first names, and we've got a variety of surnames. Now what we have in here is first of all we have duplicate data. So we've got Dale Garrett and Dale Garrett here. We've got for the second record we've got Dale Garrett, and for the fourth record we've got Dale Garrett as well. We also have some duplicate surnames. So we've got Garrett, Garrett and Garrett and Garrett here, two Malcolms and one instance of Smith. So we have some duplicate data in our database. Now you'll probably find that when you're storing things inside your database, whether it be names like I have now for any reason, say you had a comment system, I don't know, it could be absolutely any table holding any amount of data. However, what you might want to do is you might only want to select say the first name and surname, but you might want to only show the records that exist in themselves. So for example, we might just want to say, well, the surnames that we have in this database consist of Garrett, Malcolm and Smith. You might just want to say, yeah, okay, so we have three different surnames in our surnames field, and that is Garrett, Malcolm and Smith. So how do we go about doing this? Well, we use the select distinct keyword. So obviously distinct, we're selecting distinct values from our from a specific column in our database, if you like. So let's go ahead first of all and select the surname from the database, and I'll show you how adding this distinct keyword changes everything. So let's say select surname from, so we're selecting the field name here, from names, and that's about it. That's all I want to do. I want to select surname from names. So we're just selecting all surnames from this names table here. Let's go ahead and click go. Okay, so you can see that we've just literally been returned with a list of the surnames that exist in our database for every record in here. But you can see that we're still getting 4 instances of Garrett, 2 instances of Malcolm, and then just the 1 instance of Smith. So what we want to do is we want to display this as Garrett, Malcolm and Smith, because the idea of the distinct is we're not duplicating our results, but we're showing the results. We're basically saying, well, there are 4 instances of Garrett, but there is an instance of Garrett, so let's just show Garrett. So that's what we're doing with our select distinct keyword. So let's go ahead and paste in what we just did before. Now let's add the distinct after this. So the selecting distinct is a keyword in itself. So we're selecting distinct values, surname, from name. So this is the distinct value that we're selecting. I'm going to go ahead and show you in a minute what we're going to do if we're selecting the surname and the first name from names if we're using distinct. Let's go ahead and click go here. I'll just copy and paste this into my clipboard, or copy this into my clipboard so we can use it in a moment. Now you can see that what it's done is it's selected the surnames that actually exist, but it hasn't shown the duplicate records that exist for this surname in this example. So just by adding this select distinct statement, we have distinctly selected values from our database. So it all adds up to the fact that it's called select distinct. Okay, so now remember we had duplicate data for Dale Garrett, the record Dale Garrett here. We've got Dale Garrett and we've got Dale Garrett here. So what happens if we come into our SQL tab and we don't just select distinct surname, but we select distinct first name as well. So select distinct surname, first name from names. Let's click go and see what happens. Okay, so you can see that we've been we're displaying all of the data that exists into the database, but there's obviously one change in here. And you'll see that what we've actually done is we've gotten rid of the duplicate name inside of our database. So what we can do is we can select distinct values by specifying two fields, so that two fields are selected distinctly. So we've got the surname and first name are being selected distinctly. Now, Alex and Garrett are different data, Dale and Garrett are different data. However, if we have Dale Garrett duplicate, that's not going to be displayed because we're selecting distinct from the first name and the surname joined. So that's the select distinct statement inside SQL. Now let's talk about the kind of uses you might have for it. Okay, so let's say you had a table which stored users' comments inside. Let's say you had a guest book application that stored the name of the user or the email address of the user who was posting the comment and the comment itself. Now what you might want to do is you might want to say, produce a list of all the email addresses that have ever written any comment. You might not want to produce a list of every single email address because you're not going to be able to see how many users have been posting. So if we had, say, a list of 100 email addresses, but 60 of them were unique, so we had 60 of the same email address in there, but half of them or just over half of them might have posted twice or 3 times if it was a lesser percentage. So you might want to select distinct to see how many actual people have made a post in somewhere, or I'm sure you can make up your own uses for it. There's lots of different uses you can get out of that, this select distinct. But next time you want to select distinct values from your database, just use the select distinct key statement, and you're going to be returning distinct values from fields that are specified.